My friend, have you ever sat down, closed your eyes, and realized that your mind just won't stop talking? You try to meditate, but instead of silence, a flood of images, thoughts, plans, and worries all rush in at once. I believe many of us have felt that way. One of my older students, Margaret, she's 68, once told me, "Every time I sit down to meditate, the list of chores, the phone ringing, old memories, they all come up. Sometimes I even find myself planning what to cook for dinner." I smiled because that's actually very common. You see, most people try to force their mind to stop, but the harder you try, the more it resists. Paramahansa Yogananda taught something very important. Don't fight with your mind. Give it a direction. And that direction begins with your breath. Breathing may seem simple, but it's actually the bridge between body and soul. When you take control of your breath, you gently hold the key to open the door to stillness. Step 1. Becoming aware of your breath. Find a quiet place. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just somewhere you can sit with your spine straight, shoulders relaxed, and your hands resting gently on your lap. Now don't do anything, just watch your breath. Feel the cool air as you inhale through your nose, and the gentle warmth as you exhale. Don't try to change your breathing. Don't make it longer or slower. Just be there with it. If your mind starts to wander, to the bills, dinner plans, or old memories, gently bring it back to your breath, like guiding an energetic child back into a mother's arms. The beautiful thing is, after just a few minutes of watching, you'll notice your mind begin to slow down, like a lake whose ripples are settling. Step 2. Deep breathing. Once you've gotten comfortable with observing your breath, start to breathe a little deeper. Inhale slowly through your nose. Imagine you're welcoming a fresh breeze, filling your whole body with energy and life. Exhale gently, and imagine all your stress, fatigue, and worry leaving you with each breath out. This isn't just imagination. Science has proven that when you breathe slowly, deeply, and evenly, your parasympathetic nervous system switches on. That's the part of your body that brings you back to a state of peace. You'll feel your muscles loosen, your heart rate slow down, and a sense of safety wrap around you. I once guided John, a 72-year-old student, through this step. At first, his breathing was shallow, his shoulders tense. But after just 10 minutes of deep breathing, he opened his eyes and said, "You know, for the first time in years, I feel like I actually breathed. Like a whole new sky just opened inside my chest." Step 3. Connecting with the soul. When your breath and your mind have fallen into harmony, you begin to let go of control. You're no longer trying to take the deepest inhale or maintain a certain rhythm. You simply let the breath be, and you quietly witness it. In this moment, you might feel as though you're no longer just your name or your body, but a warm, silent presence. This is the moment you touch your soul, the deepest, most peaceful part of who you are. I want you to imagine as if you're standing at the edge of a perfectly still lake, the surface untouched by even a single ripple. You don't need to do anything. Just look and let that beauty seep into every cell of your being. When you move through these 3 steps, becoming aware of your breath, breathing deeply, and connecting with your soul, you're no longer doing meditation as a technique. You are opening a path back home, back to yourself. And I promise you, even the very first time you truly sit with your breath, you'll taste the peace you've been searching for all along. Once you've practiced observing your breath and deep breathing, you'll start to notice something remarkable. The breath begins to slow on its own. The body feels light, almost weightless. That's when you're ready to step into a deeper stillness. I remember one of my students, Linda, she's 65, once told me, "In that moment, I felt like I wasn't sitting on the chair anymore. I was floating somewhere, so light, so warm." I nodded, because that's exactly the sign you're touching the very heart of meditation, where the mind, the body, and the breath merge into one. At this stage, you're no longer trying to meditate. You let go. You allow the breath to move on its own, without control, without force. You just sit there, watching, like someone standing by a river, watching the water flow by. Paramahansa Yogananda called this witness consciousness. You're no longer the one doing meditation. You become the one who simply witnesses yourself. And that is the moment meditation truly begins to blossom. To help the mind stay focused, Yogananda shared a simple yet very powerful technique called Hong Sao. Picture it like this. When you inhale, silently hear the sound Hong in your mind. Don't say it out loud, just feel it echo within your thoughts. When you exhale, silently hear the sound Sao. And so it goes. Hong Sao, Hong Sao. This sound is not a religious word. It's the natural rhythm of your soul's breath. Many meditation researchers have found that when we link our breath to a repeated sound, the brain significantly reduces the number of wandering thoughts. One of my other students, George, 70 years old, who had struggled with chronic insomnia, practiced Hong Sao for 15 minutes every night. After just 1 week, he told me, "I'm sleeping better, and when I wake up, I feel as if I've just returned from a deeply peaceful place." When you repeat Hong Sao long enough, something magical happens. The mantra begins to run on its own inside your mind, even when you're not consciously repeating it. That's the sign your mind is truly in harmony with your breath. As you go deeper, gently bring your attention to the Ajna chakra, the point between your eyebrows. You might sense a faint light, a subtle vibration, or a vast, deep space. Even if you don't feel anything in particular, simply stay with it, because that silence itself is the doorway into your inner world. When you pass through this step, meditation is no longer just an activity you do. It begins to transform into a state of being. And I want you to remember, Hong Sao isn't just for when you're sitting in meditation. You can practice it while walking, riding the bus, or right before going to bed. Because when your breath and your inner sound merge into one, you've already stepped 1 foot into the home of peace. Once you've gone through the breath and entered Hong Sao, there comes a very special moment. Your breath almost disappears. Your body feels as if it has no weight. Your mind no longer wants to do anything. You're left with nothing but pure presence. I remember one of my senior students, Susan, she's 74, meditating with me on a winter morning. When we finished, she held my hand and said, "I felt like time just stopped. There was no yesterday, no tomorrow, only a strange and beautiful stillness I've never touched before." I smiled, because that is the soul's doorway beginning to open. Once your mind has settled into the rhythm of Hong Sao, you can gently shift your focus to the Ajna chakra, the point between your eyebrows. Here, you may feel a soft light, a subtle vibration, or a deep, endless space. Don't search too hard or expect anything specific. Just be there, allowing this center to naturally draw your awareness inward. This is the gateway through which you step into the deeper dimensions of yourself. When you enter this state, many unusual yet beautiful things may happen. The sense of your physical body begins to fade. The feeling of time dissolves completely. Waves of deep, blissful joy rise from within. What's fascinating is, this bliss doesn't need an outside reason. It's not like the happiness you feel when you hear good news or achieve a goal. This is spiritual bliss. It only appears when the mind, body, and awareness all come to rest together in silence. In this state, you may receive answers, but they won't come in words. Questions simply dissolve, leaving only a quiet understanding. One of my students once told me, "I don't know how to explain it, but I just understood something I've been searching for my whole life, and no one said a single word to me." That is the power of meditation. After spending some time in this state, you can gently return by bringing your attention back to your breath, continuing Hong Sao for a few cycles, moving your fingers and toes slightly, slowly opening your eyes. But you'll notice something inside you has changed. Something has been purified. A door has opened. You feel lighter, more peaceful, and somehow less afraid of life. I always tell my students, don't think of meditation as just sitting still on a mat. Meditation is the art of living. When you practice regularly, your breath, your mantra, your inner sound, and your compassion will begin to merge into one. And you'll realize you are in meditation, even while walking or having a conversation. There comes a point when you notice that meditation is no longer confined to those few minutes you sit quietly in the morning or evening. It has gone beyond the clock and become a silent current flowing through every moment of your life. Paramahansa Yogananda called this the fourth stage, living in constant awareness. In this state, you don't just feel inner peace or an inner light. You begin to sense the presence of God in even the smallest things. The rustle of leaves, the gaze in someone's eyes, a soft, gentle breath. You don't need any special posture for this. You simply carry this thought quietly in your heart. He is here. Everything I do is for him. Whether you're washing dishes, driving your car, or talking to a neighbor, you keep that feeling alive. Gradually, this awareness seeps into every thought, every emotion, every action. And you realize you're no longer doing meditation. You have become meditation. One of my students, Peter, 69 years old, once told me, "I used to think meditation was about escaping the noise to find a quiet place. Now, the noise is still there, but inside, nothing shakes me anymore." When the energy of meditation fills you on the inside, it naturally flows outward. You don't have to convince anyone. You don't have to explain much. Just sitting with you, people will feel at ease, lighter, calmer. Yogananda called such practitioners silent lighthouses, shining light into the darkness without saying a word. If you want to live in this stage, keep these three habits close. Practice regularly, even if it's just a few minutes each day. Serve selflessly, doing good without expecting anything in return. Take pauses throughout your day to return to your breath, to Hong Sao, to the sound of Om. But most importantly, invite God into every feeling, both joy and sorrow. Don't think you have to sit for hours just to reach him. Sometimes, just a single quiet moment, a deep breath, or a silent remembrance is enough to connect. Be patient, be gentle with yourself, and trust. Because the consciousness within you is the same as the consciousness of the entire universe. When you open your eyes after meditation, you'll notice you are not the same person you were a few minutes ago. Something has shifted. You're calmer, steadier, clearer. From that moment on, meditation is no longer something you do. It becomes a way of living. When you walk, you are in meditation. When you speak, you are in meditation. When you breathe, you are in meditation. Next time you inhale, feel God in that breath. Next time you look into someone's eyes, recognize the soul within them. And next time you sit in silence, truly see yourself. Thank you for walking this journey with me. May eternal peace be with you, in every breath, every moment, and throughout your life. If something in this video touched your heart, please give it a like, leave a comment, and share your own story. And don't forget to subscribe, because in the next video, we'll explore how to combine movement, breath, and emotion to live healthy, live vibrantly, and live with love, fully, at any age.